Guys, how you all doing? My name is Onyii Orezi and it's Chronicles of a Mother. With me here this evening is my darling husband Orezi. I promised I was going to be sharing my love story, how I met him and how I got myself into this beautiful marriage that I'm in. So we're doing it this evening, right?
Yeah.
So how did it all start? Okay, it happened in 2009. I just started my youth service. It was in February. I started my youth service. So I was praying to God. I was praying about the plans for the year. And then also I started praying for a life partner. I wanted a good man that I would settle down with. I wasn't in any relationship. So okay, so I think a couple of days after that prayer, when I was having my devotion again and I brought it up, I heard 2 years. Give yourself 2 years. He said, as I'm working on you, so also am I working on him. So 2 years it was hard. I was like, okay, am I sure? But I still obeyed anyway. I gave myself those 2 years. I started in 2009, 2010. I finished I finished my NYSC. I went back to Ghana to be with my parents, So 2011, exactly on the 8th of March, that was exactly 2 years after I had prayed that prayer. I was doing an internship program with Africa. It's an NGO in Ghana. One of those days I went to the office quite early. So I was like, okay, before I even start my work, let me check what I have on Facebook. And then I open my page and I see a message from this stranger, and it read, "Hi pretty face, how is Ghana?" Okay, let me tell you something about me. One thing that really irritates me is all those guys coming into my inbox, to send me all those love messages. It really offends me. So when I saw this particular one, I was a bit pissed. I was like, who is this guy that has the guards to come into my inbox to ask me, and then he even called me pretty face. And also I continued with what I was doing, but then I kept on hearing that thing inside of me, respond to that message. I was like, respond to which message? A guy that comes to my inbox to check me? Oh hell no, I would not, but I kept on, having that.
Nobody was checking you now. It was just hi.
No, why would you call me pretty face?
Okay.
Could you not just have said hello, how you doing? But he called me pretty face, and that really put me off. But I obeyed that voice and I responded, I'm very well. That was the message, I'm very well. And then he sent a follow-up message that read, oh, she responds. And then continued saying a whole lot of things, and that was how we got talking. Initially there was that eyes attitude from me. Who is this person? I don't know who this person is. And then every morning when I wake up, I see a beautiful poem in my inbox. And initially I was like, wait, is this guy a psycho? Okay, I could not really understand what he was about. He would send me all those love poems. I love poems. I love beautiful write-ups. I was wondering, okay, first of all, how did this psycho know I love poems? How did he know this would get to me? But we kept on talking. He asked for my number. I gave him. After a while, I gave him. He started calling. He was in Lagos, I was in Ghana. He started calling. But I told him, of course, you cannot call me after 9 p.m. because I have a curfew. After 9 p.m., no guy should call me. So I told him. And I remember one of those days, he called me. He was like, it was after 9 p.m. He was like, please, I'm really sorry to be calling you. Yes, I picked the call. He said, I'm really sorry to be calling you.
For the coffee,
or whatever. He said, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to be calling you by this time. I am actually just coming back from church and we closed a bit late. I would have called earlier. I would have loved to call earlier, but here am I calling, breaking your curfew. I remember I was lying on the bed with my big sister. I told him, okay, no problem, it's fine, it's okay. So I asked him how his day was, he asked me how my day was, and that was it. He got off the phone. But we kept on talking, I kept on receiving I kept on receiving all those poems. I think for a couple of months. It happened in March, but in April we had a national program in Nigeria. It's a yearly camp meeting. So I said I was going to go. He wanted me to be there too.
You said you were going to go, I made you go. Which one?
I wanted to go anyway. I don't miss my yearly camp meetings. I was in Ghana.
You were not planning. You were not.
How do you know I wasn't planning to go?
You didn't want to come.
How do
I
you
had
know?
To. Okay,
how do you
okay.
know?
You
How
wanted,
do you know?
You wanted
How
to
do
come.
you know?
You wanted to come.
Yes, I was planning to come, but he insisted also if I was going to change my mind. He insisted I should be there because we hadn't seen each other. He wanted to see me. He wanted to meet me. Come first. Let me even ask. What even made you start sending me those poems, and what even made you start chatting me up?
I don't understand the question.
Oh, the hello pretty face. How is Ghana? How did you come about that?
No, I'm. You said I'm just a random guy that goes around sending people.
I wouldn't know, but seriously, but tell me.
Oh, no. I mean, nothing. It was first of all, I can't even remember how we. I can't remember how we became friends because we're already friends on Facebook for some very strange reason.
I think I was the one that sent
you were
the
not
friend request.
exactly. So you were not exactly a stranger because there had been an exchange at some point. So you had accepted my friend request. I think I'd been seeing the picture. Kind of looked like somebody. Kind of looked like. Why are you laughing? You looked like somebody that I think you looked like somebody that I used to know. So I thought, okay, fine. I was out of a relationship at the time. I've been on my own for a while, and I was thinking of now finding somebody and hopefully at least someone that I possibly could say that was not where I was when I started. So it was like, okay, it was just a friendly conversation, friendly chat. You were very uptight at the beginning, but thank God the Lord helped you to
helped me
to be able to calm down. So that was it.
Yeah, so what about all those poems?
Okay, the poems. Okay, it was I don't know. I mean I didn't know at the time that you liked poems for starters. So I kind of felt it was a way to break the ice. The truth about matters is, you were very uptight. You had too many rules, too many restrictions, everything. So the easiest way to get across, I couldn't say certain things outright. That's the challenge of dating. How I put it, dating within the Christian circle. There's some things you cannot say outright and all that. So I felt, okay, fine. The best way to express it would be through a poem. So I was inspired. Drop a poem every morning. So I did that, I think, for almost a month. Inspired. I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it was inspiration, obviously. So I would seek out some I wrote, some I sort out. Seek out a poem every morning that I felt captured.
There were love poems.
No. There were no. The first set of poems were friendship poems. There were no. You can go back and check. They were completely. There was no. There was no entanglement.
So when did you start sending those love poems?
Okay, no, the love poems came after we had now established contact. We were there talking, and then I felt, okay, at this point in time, we're making progress. So I felt, okay, we could now start sending some love poems. That was.
So he continued sending me those poems, and at a point, I remember there was one of those days when I woke up. I started looking forward to these poems anyway. I could not understand. It was so unlike me. But I felt
she had fallen for the that's the word. She doesn't.
There was an attraction.
She had fallen for it. Because when you did not see a poem later on, you were like, what is happening? Where is my poem? You called. You actually called and asked. That was what happened.
Of
you
course,
called
because
and asked.
Of course,
about
you had gotten me in an area that was something that I really love. I love poems, beautiful poems. He had already gotten my attention with those, and I was wondering, I didn't get a poem from him.
So find what she loves, and then yes, you can catch.
So I actually called him. I was wondering if he was okay. I was wondering if everything was okay with him. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I think that day he did not have the time to send the poem, but it still continued. So we met in the camp meeting,
No, that was not what happened though. That was not what happened. It's not as if I did not have time to send the poem. I can't remember. We were discussing. There were in one of our conversations. You obviously became with one of your plenty rules and all that. So I decided that, you know what, this person with all her plenty grammar and everything, let me just leave her alone. So it wasn't like I was busy. I wasn't busy. I stopped sending the poem. I said I'm not sending again. So when you now called and said I wasn't saying, and I said, oh, so she's actually feeling this poem and feeling the guy. Okay, so that was how we now continued.
So we continued, and we met in our yearly camp meeting. When I first saw him, he was breathtakingly handsome.
You missed the part where you and your sisters thought I was maybe a kidnapper that had come to your house to carry me away. They needed to get my details, my family house, everybody in my clan and my line pitch, so that they will know.
And let me mention, before everything progressed, I went on Facebook. I found out more about him. I realized we had so many friends in common. And I found out he was actually a pastor in my church. I called a couple of people and started asking questions about him. They told me he was a good guy, I spoke with lots of people that knew him. And then we had started a branch of my church in Ghana, and the pastor that was there, that was sent to pastor the church, knew him. I mentioned to him, he knew him. He told me a couple of things about him. So I was comfortable. He wasn't just a stranger from the woods, someone from the thin air that just appeared and did abracadabra. And no, I did my homework. I realized he was a good guy from what I had heard people say. So I relaxed. I calmed down. I was staying with my sister at that time, so he came to the house to pick me to the program because I didn't really know my way around Lagos. Let me just add. I think it's important because of the nature of what's happening now and the fact that there's so much suspicion. People are. I mean, this our Facebook love. Bad things are happening.
Bad things happen. So this our Facebook love is very, very. So
we met on Facebook.
Even on my path, I had to also ask questions because I had a lot of friends also who went to UNN. She finished from University of Nigeria, Nsukka. I had a number of friends actually who went to UNN also. So I also called them up, asked about her department and all that, because it was it's really important so that you don't get yourself
caught up with the bad guys.
Exactly. There's so many of them out there. So just to make that clear. Doesn't change the fact that it's on Facebook anyways, but yeah.